Hi, it's Therese from Lostinpaper, and I'm here for the Scrapbook Boutique Hop today, and this is the July Moodboard, and the colours are amazing, so I thought I'd be focusing on those for my card. I'm using the Penny Black Flower Medley set, and initially I couldn't choose which sprig of flowers to use, so just pick one and do it because they're all so beautiful. I am going to be doing some really easy Zig Clean Color Real Brush marker colouring today. So I'm stamping out the flowers with some jet black archival ink on some Bristol Smooth cardstock and kind of making it in an arch around the left side of the panel of cardstock. And this is really easy. Anyone can do this, I promise. Especially if you have the Bristol cardstock. There are a few other cardstocks that work really well with the zigs, but some of them are really bad and you can't even move the colour around on them at all. So if you are having trouble using your zig markers, try a different cardstock. It made all the difference for me, I promise. So what I'm literally doing here is laying down the colour, including my shadow colour. I've put two different colours down, and then I want to add some water to activate it. I don't want my brush to be too wet. This cardstock, it does work really well with watercolours, so it can tolerate quite a bit of water, but I didn't want to go there today. I just wanted to make this really quick and easy. So I just simply follow the same tactic right through all my buds, and I have kind of focused the darker colour where the shadows are going to be. Told you, nothing fancy here, keeping it really simple. So with the mood board, I just noticed there was kind of some like a grey-brown colours throughout it, so I thought it'd be fun to bring that into the card as well. So rather than doing the green leaves, I have actually used this sort of grey-brown pen, paint, whatever you want to call it, and I think it turned out a really pretty colour. So that's my first layer painted in, and while I'm waiting for that to dry, I thought I'd work on my sentiment, and I remembered this time I want a gold sentiment, and I remembered to actually use my double-sided adhesive sheets. And I've actually added that to the back of my mirror gold cardstock, and that way I'm not going to have to use the liquid glue to adhere it to my foam. It's if you've ever used liquid glue and mirror cardstock before, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. It's not happy. Well, the sentiment's happy. This is Mama Elephant. It's an older die. It's called Happy Script, and it's really pretty, one of my faves. So because it's not liquid glue, I don't have to wait for it to dry. That's another bonus. And I'm just using my pokey tool actually to remove the pieces within the die cut before I push it out of place, just so it holds shape a little bit better. And voila, it is done. Alright, so now it's time to come back to my panel. It's all dry, and I'm using the darker colour again, but this time just direct to the cardstock to add some shadows. And I do this on both the flowers and the leaves. And I think it's really pretty as it is. Like there's like these colours, I could have just left it like this, but if you look at the mood board, it is kind of a bluey tinge to the colours as well, so I thought it'd be fun to bring the blues into the pattern and into this design as well. So what I decided to do was actually add the blues with some tumbled glass, and obviously I did wait for the paints to dry, or the zig colours to dry, before I did this. Now I'm using the round blending tool, and you find that the Distress ink blends really well on this Bristol Smooth cardstock as well. I wasn't really sure how dark to go with this, and I probably went a little bit darker than I would have liked in the end, but I think it still turned out okay. And I have sped this up because it does take a while, because I'm only adding little bits of colour at a time. Now, to bring the blues in a little bit more, this is one of the Glitz and Glamour set. It's the Spectrum Noir, and it's the blue glitter pen. And what it does is it has a glitter within it, but it also adds colour. So I'm sort of killing two birds with one stone. That's a terrible saying. I'm not going to kill any birds at all. I'm just going to add glitter and colour. So the sentiment I'm going to use to go with my word happy comes from another Mama Elephant set, and it's kind of the matching set to the die cut that I use, and it's called Happy Everything. And I think it's one of my favourite sayings to put on a card. The panel is done now for the front of the card, and my ATG ran out halfway, so I do need to refill it again. So I've just added some score tape to the back of the panel and adhering it to the front of a top fold card. And then all that's left to do is add my sentiment and a little bit of bling. I thought it'd be really nice today to add the gold, because the gold was within the mood board as well, but it was really just a highlight. There wasn't a lot of it there. So initially I was thinking of some Nouveau gold drops, or maybe some gold pearls. They just weren't the right colour gold for the cardstock that I've used, but I do have these gold sequins and they were perfect, so I've added 3 of those just in amongst the flowers for a little bit of added sparkle. And that's my finished card for today. Thanks so much for joining me. I hope you're having fun along the hop and are inspired by all the other wonderful creations by the team. So till next time, happy paper crafting. Bye.